Flight 229, you're clear for takeoff.
Hey folks, Maverick Watch Reviews back here with another review for you. Actually, I have a double review for you today. These are two watches from a company called Delmar. And as usual, we'll open these things up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and then I'll give you my overall impressions of these two watches from Delmar. Now, as you can see, there are no watch boxes. Both of these watches were shipped in bubble wrap, and one of the pieces of bubble wrap had the word Maserati on it, which was rather odd. They did come with some instructions, though you really don't need instructions for watches like these. They're very simple. Excuse me, and they're interesting. they're very interesting. Okay, one of them is this one. This is a 200-meter Quartz Tritium diver. Basically, it has those little Tritium gas tubes on the indexes, and then a quartz movement. And we'll I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. We'll talk about this one in a second. This one is a 1,000-meter quartz diver with a helium escape valve. And if you have seen, or if you think you've seen this watch before, it's because you have. Because boom, here's the Phoibos that I reviewed, about 2 weeks ago? They're basically the same watch. Same bracelet, same buckle, basic, same basic dial style, just some minor tweaks back and forth. So if you want, I'm not going to go too in depth with this one, because if you want to know everything about this watch, watch the review on the Phoibos that I did a couple weeks ago. So anyway, so let's talk about this Tritium diver. Excuse me. Now when this watch arrived to me, it had scratches on the case back. When you put it under a loop, which I like to do to look for any imperfections with my watches, yeah, I guess I'm a little bit anal there. There's dust on the dial. There are little pieces of dirt. Some of the tritium tubes have deformities on them, so it's not an even light. Also, the tritium tubes are very, very, very light. I'm not even gonna go over the specs of this thing, because on the Delmar website, there are no specs. There are no specs to this watch other than, let me pull it up here. It's a 200-meter wristwatch, stainless steel, obviously. It's got a 10-year long battery life, which actually means about 3 or 4 years. They say the tritium tubes last about 25 years. I don't believe that for 1 second. It's got a bezel. It's a mineral crystal. It has a 5-year limited warranty, which I'm assuming you might need to use with this watch. This thing doesn't impress me at all, unfortunately. Also the dial, just the design, the numbers are so small. It's like you're looking through a huge, like the lens is a huge cyclops and everything has been magnified, and without it, everything is small. Does that make sense? Actually, probably flip that. You would need a big cyclops over this thing to view it. It's just, the dial is really small to me. Anyway, so, I mean, I do like the knurling on the crown, but the case back has got scratches on it. Like I said, the dial, when you put it under a loop, there's dust and stuff on the dial. So they've got some manufacturing issues with this watch. It weighs a ton. I mean, it feels like putting a brick on your wrist. It's just, if you want a Tritium watch, get a Luminox. Don't buy this thing. It's just, I don't want to knock it too much, but just if you want a really nice Tritium diver, get a Luminox watch. And I'll put the Luminox logo up on the left-hand side of the screen for you. Get a Luminox if you want a Tritium watch, okay? Or if you have more money, get a Ball or something like that, and I'll put their logo up on the left-hand side of the screen too. Stay away from this thing. I mean, it's $250, and anyway. So there's that one. And again, this is just another version of the Phoibos. Same pretty, it's a quality build watch. I like it a lot, actually. Again, they just tweaked the dial. They moved the helium escape valve. They moved the helium escape valve over here to 9 o'clock instead of it being at 2 o'clock like it is on the Phoibos. If you can look, you can see the same exact texture on the helium escape valve, that knurling. They just moved it to a different location. And they still have the crown, the main crown over there at 4 o'clock. Again, this crown just has some knurling on it. The minute hand is a little bit different. The hour hand is a little bit different. And the indexes are a little bit different. Everything else is pretty much the same. The bezel is the same. Actually, this one does have a little lollipop second hand, as you can see there, whereas the Phoibos doesn't. These are made by the same company, guys. These are made by the exact same company, just, you know, minor tweaks. Now, this does have an outer shroud to it, which I do like, actually. I really do like that outer shroud look. You know, they're kind of borrowing, that's a nice word to say, you know, stealing from Seiko. But, you know, it has a nice look to it. I like this watch. Out of the two, this is definitely the one I would recommend that you get if you want to get a watch from Del Mar. The rest of their watches are kind of cheesy, 80s inspired, yacht rocky type of watches with nautical flags all over them. And they're all relatively cheap, you know, about $100. They're all quartz watches pretty much. But this one is pretty nice. I guess they saw the Phoibos or some other company that made a watch like this, and they said, you know what, let's go ahead and make our version of this. So there you go. Now I'm trying to think of anything else I forgot. That's really, guys, that's really about it. I really can't recommend Del Mar watches too much. They're just not that, you know, the watches are not that great. Again, if you want this type of watch, either get this one from Del Mar. This is really the only one I can recommend for the ones I've seen. Or, you know, if you want the Tritium style watch, like I said, head on over to Luminox and pick one up. Or you can get also, who else makes Tracer? And I'll put their logo over here. They make good Tritium style watches. Ball, which I've already mentioned, and of course Luminox, which I've already mentioned. Guys, just you know, I hate to bash a watch company like this, but when you ship two watches with no watch boxes, the watches have production flaws on them. There's no information on the website so far as, you know, the case size, the lug size, anything else, the movements inside. There's just no information about these watches on their website. I guess they're just wanting you to buy these things sight unseen, and, you know, and hope they're gonna last. So, guys, stay away from Del Mar watches. They're just anyway. Enough said. You know what I'm saying here. You can smell what I'm cooking. So really stay away from these watches. Anyway, until the next review, if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel and see some other good watch brands, please do so. I've got a lot of other good watch reviews of quality watches from quality watch companies on my channel. Please click like and subscribe. And I would also like to invite you to become a patron of mine on Patreon. That'll allow me to buy new camera equipment, new editing software. I'll be able to bring you many more watch reviews per week. And it really helps me out with the demonetization on YouTube right now. It really is affecting everybody. I only have one commitment level, and that's $3 a month. So if you could find in your heart to do that, I would really appreciate it. And that's about it, folks. Until the next review, I'll see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.